Today is Tuesday, December 17th, and today's agricultural fact of the day also came from Ag Daily, and it came from an article about missing cattle in Colorado. Today's agricultural fact of the day: Colorado ranchers in Montrose County suspect theft as nearly 200 calves disappear. The loss could total up to $400,000 and has left ranchers and officials puzzled. Coupled with winter conditions, it is becoming challenging to investigate further because if any evidence was left behind from predators, it would be covered up by snow. Some ranchers reported a loss of up to 40 calves, as this involves many ranchers. Local ranchers bring their cattle up to the public lands to graze through the summer and bring them home in the winter. This concept, to me, utilizing public land to graze your cattle, is just so foreign because here in New York State, that's not really a thing. And I don't know anyone that doesn't have their cattle fenced in due to the laws of our state. And this has been one thing that we've continually discussed in this class that does the agricultural fact of the day, is how that looks drastically different in other states. So in New York State, it's the farmer's responsibility. We don't call them ranchers here. It is the cattle owner's responsibility to keep those cows in fences. And if they get out and get hit in the road, then you could be held liable and lose essentially everything that you own. In other states, it's the reverse. So it more so protects those cattle producers. And you have these free roaming laws and you have brands. In New York State, we don't register brands. Every farmer just tags their cattle or tattoos them, and that's how we keep track of them. We don't have brands. It's actually rare to really find many cattle in New York that have brands on them. But obviously this article, if you wanted to read more about it, it was published on December 16th, which was yesterday. But it does involve many ranchers. And of course, there was a video attached to the article, and somebody that was interviewing one of the ranchers said, or one of the officials said, "Do you think it's aliens?" Kind of joking. And they're like, "No, yeah, it's definitely not aliens. But who knows with these drones that are going around everywhere." But this also provided the opportunity to discuss the livestock market currently and actually what cattle prices are doing. So I told the kids, obviously back in a different time frame of our country, cattle rustling was really a thing. But right now, how high cattle prices are, I could definitely have seen someone probably taking those calves that are not theirs off of public land and sending them through the auction. But that article clip, the video clip, did show the brand of the farm that is missing, one of the farms. So I don't know if all the calves were branded or not. Obviously, if you're grazing on public land, now those of you that are out west that actually do this and graze your cattle on public land, feel free to give me some insight, because my cows are in a barn in the winter, and when they're out on pasture, they are being kept in by electrified high tensile fencing. So I know where my cows are at all times. I just can't imagine having my assets with four legs walking around essentially loose, because I don't trust people to begin with, let alone just free roaming and grazing. But I could definitely see somebody now. Most Angus mama cows are pretty angry, and if you try to touch those babies, they're gonna hurt you. And I don't know. I'm sure that it's possible that they would be able to get the calf away from the cow, but it's really unfortunate for these ranchers. So if you're in any of those areas and want to give insight, or you have more information to provide, feel free to comment or, stitch a video or whatever, make a reply, because this concept fascinates the heck out of me, because we don't have those free roaming laws. Anyway, that's the agricultural fact of the day. I hope you learned something. Also, my tomatoes are actually starting to blossom, or flower, or whatever you want to call it. I'll show you in a second, but these are my hydroponic tomatoes. I can't remember when I started them, but they just exploded and they've been growing like crazy. This hydroponic system was actually donated from a parent of a student off of my Amazon wish list. So if you haven't checked out my wish list and you would like to support my classroom, there are still items on there that do need to be purchased. but you can see these little flowers starting to form. We will do manual pollination with them because obviously we don't have insects in this room. It is New York. It is snowy outside. There are no bugs anywhere. They're all unalived at this point in the season. So we will end up, once these actually bloom, we will do manual pollination with them. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I will not be in school tomorrow. I actually have a doctor's appointment. So if there's not an agricultural fact of the day, that's why. It's not because of another snow day. It's because I have a doctor's appointment. And I will go through and update my Amazon wish list. So if anybody has any questions or would like to purchase things, feel free to do that. It benefits my classroom directly.